Katsune asked the following: for your next explaining Pokemon video, you should talk about Paras and Parasect. For you, I will do just that. It'll be my greatest pleasure and I hope I won't disappoint you, so let us talk about Paras. So who or what is a Paras? A good question. I remember when I first saw it, I was intrigued. A bug, grass-type Pokemon that looks like a crab with mushrooms on its back? Not a combination you see every day. Well, it looks like Paras is more than just that. We're talking about a cross between a crab and a cicada nymph. I hope I'm not messing up the name. A cicada nymph is an insect with prominent eyes set wide apart and with short antennae, which you can also see in Paras. The orange shell-like exterior and legs are great references to the crab, although the crab has two pincers instead of the big front legs Paras has. And by the way, sure there is a difference in looks between the crab's pincers and Paras' front legs, the function remain about the same. Paras uses the front legs to get a good grip onto prey and its environment. The crab uses its pincers to get a good grip and, well, for fighting and for catching prey and tearing it apart to eat. That would actually be crabby for you guys, and this is me hinting to what could potentially be the next explaining Pokemon evolution episode. Now when it comes to etymology, meaning the name, you might be confused as to where it came from. I mean, a crab with mushrooms that goes by the name of Paras? It's a bit weird, right? Well, allow me to explain where the name really does come from. You see, Paras is a shortening of the word parasite. A parasite is an organism that lives on or in a host organism and gets its food from or at the expense of its host. Kind of what you see in the Resident Evil series. They have various parasites, each of them granting new powers, new looks, I would say, and have different effects. In the case of Paras, it is actually the mushroom on its back that is the parasite. So the name is a reference to that mushroom. Let me explain based on the Pokédex entries. You see, the mushroom is called Tochukazo, a rare species of parasitic mushrooms that grows on Paras, but also its evolution Parasect. These mushrooms, sure they may remind us of the mushroom Mario eats, granting him the power of growth, it's just that the Tochukazo works very differently. Tochukazo spores are attached to Paras eggs, causing the hatchlings to be doused in them upon birth, and that mushroom is silently but certainly taking over the will of its host. No wonder the mushroom is based on the real-world endoparasitoid fungus that replaces the host tissues of caterpillars, even affecting its behavior. It is the Tochukazo that orders Paras to suck nutrients from tree roots and trunks, and then absorbs those for itself. So in a sense, the mushrooms on Paras' back have a mutualism with each other. The mushrooms get energy from Paras, while Paras gets to create spores, an ability that makes the foe poisoned, paralyzed or fall asleep 30% of the time whenever attacked by a move that makes contact. So whenever Paras is eating, the mushroom grows larger and larger by constantly drawing nutrients from this bug Pokemon. Now, unfortunately for Paras, we can say that its destiny, when a Tochukazo is connected to it, can take two routes only. The first route is one where the mushroom is being used for consumption. You see, the spores of the mushroom is used to make a herbal medicine which can be used to extend life. It is a medicine commonly made in China. Call it traditional Chinese medicine. The spores can also be used to produce miracle potions which improves a Pokemon's attack power, defenses, concentration, determination and even intellect. The other route is the scary route. The mushroom does not only steal away most of the nutrients Paras consumes, it also has a way of controlling or at least influencing the little bug and little by little stealing its will. And the more Paras is growing in size, the more the Tochukazo is growing larger to a point where it totally controls the will of the Pokemon. And when Paras is evolving into Parasect, the Tochukazo take complete control of the host and does all the thinking. In fact, the Pokédex entry of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon claim that the bug is mostly dead, with the mushroom on its back having become the main body. You chop off the mushroom, the bug won't even move. Paras, now as a Parasect, was completely taken over and drained of its energy because of the mushroom, and its behavior is quite different compared to its pre-evolved form. You see, the Tochukazo has one goal, it is to reproduce. To get so far, certain conditions must be met. Maybe better said, Parasect has a way of making it easier to reproduce. For example, you will only find a parasect in damp and dark areas because the mushroom favors those places. They also gather in groups to feed off the nutrients from trees, mostly the bark and roots. And they infest large trees en masse, and when an infested tree dies, they move onto another tree all at once. The larger the mushroom on its back grows, the stronger the mushroom spores it will scatter. The fungus scatters its toxic spores from the mushroom cap and uses the host to help distribute these spores, starting the cycle again of infecting baby paras and guaranteeing the survival of the fungus. The mushrooms also leave spores on the bug's eggs when nothing's left to extract from the bug. So we're talking about a pretty dangerous mushroom. And I noticed that Parasect's eyes are completely white, only showing that the Pokemon is either dead or dying. There's an important thing I need to tell you. You see, as Parasect has a habit of gathering in dark places and trees, it often has conflicts with what can be considered its counterpart, Shiinotic, a grass fairy type Pokemon. They compete over territory and often their fights leave the area coated in spores. Spores that are poisonous, although the quality of the spore might depend on the Parasect we are talking about. Apparently spores produced in Alola are not of very good quality, meaning it might not even be used for traditional medicine or potions. Hey guys, this is the end of the video. I'm happy to know why Paras has those mushrooms. At first I thought it was just a design, but turns out it is something way more interesting. My friends, always remain open to learn. And speaking of learning, obviously there are parts about the Pokemon that I did not mention. It's okay, that's why I'm counting on all of you to write what you know in the comment section. I may be one man, but I see this channel as a collective, so I'm counting on all of you for your contributions. Oh, and by the way, what if Paras were to evolve without a mushroom? How would it look?